Hello, good people of the internet, and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright.
What is probably
Going to be the last part of the trial.
Yeah. It's all coming down to this now. We're gonna get Von Karma convicted in Miles' place, and Yanni Yogi, and he's gonna get taken out for birth murders.
Yeah. Maybe. The case summary.
He has to.
It's on the case summary page.
The case summary?
Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred.
The date of the incident? December 28th? Why, that's today's date. 15 years ago.
And the number on that safe is 1228.
Ah!
He used the date of the DL6 incident as a number for a safe, Your Honor. That's how important the date was to him.
I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. Bah, this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM card's number to 0001 because I'm number 1. This has nothing to do with a date. Nothing.
Also, you're probably going to have to change your ATM card number now, because now everyone knows what your PIN is.
That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems to more like a pattern to me. Sorry,
Is that an alarm?
Yeah. Anyway. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately! Witness, tell us your name. Wait, this witness, he doesn't remember. No. No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different.
This is a real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years.
Well, let me ask you again. Please, state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a... 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court.
I was about to say, your Yogi sounds a lot like, Karma.
Yeah. Order! Order! Yanni Yogi. So was it you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So, I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancée, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years. This was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Well, wait a moment. Revenge? Against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter.
That you went back to being Karma.
Oops. I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. I did kind of slip into that for a bit.
Yeah, that's alright.
Von Karma, where is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I sought no room for error in his confession. Then the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is... innocent, in this case at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So, I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections?
I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything?
Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty.
Alright, you cleared his name.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
I do kind of feel bad for Yogi, though. I mean, he is a murderer. He still killed Robert. But, like, damn. His life was like...
I don't know, I find it hard to...
Feel pity for a murderer?
Especially considering he also... I'm convinced he also killed...
Edward's his dad.
Gregory Edgeworth, yes. And then trying to frame his son for murder because he has some weird, like, cocked up delusion in his head of his innocence and everything. Also, and then he turned around and he killed the lawyer that got him off anyway. I don't pity him.
Okay.
Did someone just say objection?
It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth?
Your Honor, I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in DL6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad.
Uh-oh, what do I do? The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst.
Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed.
That would be Larry.
We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He is right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. For 15 years, I have had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know. It wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident, it was me. Your Honor, I confess to my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me. Order! Order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant, declared innocent, is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitation runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah. It's obvious. We hold a trial, right here, right now. We tried this man for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. Holy shit. I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort. Man, Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you kill your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This thing is crazy! Just crazy! Nick, what are you doing?
Huh? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready.
Your case? For what?
Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent.
What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it. In court.
I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare.
What?
It's just a dream, not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belt. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me.
Right. Now, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, no pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections?
No, Your Honor. On Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you?
Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court.
When Edward was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail that didn't quite fit. Will that be the key? Only if I get this to work.
Please, please. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. Bah! The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
That day I...
What was the trial your father was involved in on that day?
I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost, and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details.
That was when Edwards had pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. So there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator.
Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then as time passed and no one came to help.
What did you do then?
I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then...
What was it?
A pistol. I assumed it was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. And you picked it up. What happened next?
Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it?
I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous, but the air was getting so thick, I panicked. So, you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was in a daze. Just like the daze he was in when he was like... That's why he was in such a daze and he picked it up, because it was a trigger. It was from remembering back to the event, so he just casually... and then just kind of sauntered off. You know, after he parked the boat, he walked by and he just sauntering off, just in a daze, trying to like process everything.
Yeah. I can't believe he's dead, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. The gun fired once?
Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot, that horrible scream.
The scream. To this day?
Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live.
There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. And I don't know what it means. I better find out, and quick. If I remember correctly... Okay, if you look at this picture...
There's a bullet in the window.
Exactly.
A bullet hole.
So, there's only one gunshot?
Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see.
No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, you don't. Take a look at this. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago, and in it lies a clear contradiction to Mr. Edwards' testimony.
Well, I can see the victim, Gregory Edgeworth, lying there. But what do you mean, a contradiction?
Just as I thought. The judge is clueless, as always.
Show the judge the contradiction in the photo.
As it should be obvious, the contradiction is here.
I see. A bullet hole in the door.
Your Honor, Miles Edward testified that there was only one gunshot. However, according to this photograph, not one, but 2 shots were fired. One shot hit the victim, the other hit the elevator door. I ask you then, why did Mr. Edgeworth hear only 1 gunshot?
This photograph does seem to confirm a second shot. However, when was the hole in the elevator made? It might have been there before the incident occurred. If it was there before, it has nothing to do with this incident. Mr. Wright, do you have proof that this bullet hole was caused at the time of the incident? The bullet.
Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof.
What? Impossible! Now, Mr. Blumkarma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. What do you have that proves the bullet hole in the door was related to this incident? That one? Right?
This one was taken from his heart, though.
Well, that's the only bullet we have.
That's fair.
Mr. Wright, please, think how we feel having to look at this evidence time and time again. Every time you show us ridiculous evidence, I feel, well, mocked.
I mean, I didn't really mean any harm in it, by Your Honor.
Not meaning any harm. And not doing any harm are 2 different things, Mr. Wright. Try again, Mr. Wright. That was it.
That was a penalty.
Okay. Well, you have the proof of bullet door? Is it...
check.
One bullet found at heart. The murder weapon was fired twice.
Got it. Okay, that's it. Your Honor, the answer is in this file.
You do enjoy dragging out of that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page shows the link between the bullet hole and the DL6 incident?
Look at the victim data in this file. It says quite plainly the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edwards only heard 1 gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice.
Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edwards' heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, you must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else.
Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be?
The murderer, of course.
I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page.
The case summary? That's on page 1.
Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Order! I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the scene at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Van Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So, all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter.
Gah, how did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet doesn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident?
What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection?
I'm sorry, Maya.
What?
It looks like I was wrong.
Nick?
The second bullet wasn't there, and all my conjectures are for nothing.
No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent.
I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought the 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone who fired the killing shot. But now I was wrong in thinking it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years.
Nick. Well, it seems like we have finally cleared up this incident.
Only one bullet was found at the scene of the crime. The shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth.
Precisely.
I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any objections?
No. No, I do not.
So you killed your father, though that was not your intention.
Yes, I did.
Oh no. He's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here.
Right now.
Indeed. Does anyone have any objections?
I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I should know I should be saying. My mind's gone blank. Can't find the words.
Mr. Wright.
Your Honor? I object.
Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object?
Oof.
Nick?
I don't know. This case is perfect.
Oh no.
Ah. It must exist. The second bullet. What? Did you just say? I think that was actually me that's talking.
Nothing.
The second bullet must exist? But where?
Someone took it.
It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright.
Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet, it existed.
What? But we've just heard proof that it did not exist.
I realize that, Your Honor. I'm only grasping here. It's just, someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened.
But who?
The murderer.
The murderer? Just tell us, just who is this murderer?
I'm still thinking about that one.
So the criminal took the second bullet? But why?
Huh?
First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet?
Why would the murderer have to spend time looking for the stray bullet? Yeah, I haven't got a clue.
What's wrong, Mr. Wright?
The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true.
Had to take it.
Had to take it. The murderer? What does that mean?
You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But, the murderer had to take the bullet.
Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean?
Well, for instance... For instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer?
The bullet hit the murderer?
Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could just perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened?
Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer himself was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside of him? Thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime?
Yes. I guess that's how it would work, yes.
But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from the elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean...
The murder came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then, the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside.
Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say.
What do you say? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer.
No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone.
Hey, Nick,
Huh?
I just thought of something really crazy.
Crazy?
Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday?
Gregory Edgeworth held the blood to his perfect trial record.
Wow.
It must have been quite a shock for Von Conklin. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see? Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in many years of his prosecution.
What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it...
But took it because he was injured.
Which would mean
It could mean only one thing.
he was the murderer in the DL6 incident.
He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth.
He was Von Karma.
Oh man.
Something wrong, Mr. Wright. You seem dazed.
No, Your Honor.
Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from the outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect?
Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect.
Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect?
My hands are shaking.
What?
Von Karma.
Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah. You don't object?
I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection?
Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason?
So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify.
Urk.
Nick, let's find out who his doctor is.
It's no use.
Edgeworth?
I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness.
At least that perfect.
So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane.
No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull out bullets all out of yourself.
I mean...
Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where?
So if by this reasoning he can't pull it out himself...
It would still be in him.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? Open your shirt!
Alright, on camera, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I'll show... I know how you like it so much.
What?
The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... Oh. Von Karma's perfect. He wouldn't risk your surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then, I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it unlikely Von Karma performed surgery on himself.
You don't mean...
I do. There's a possibility the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is he still badgering you?
No.
Okay.
Is that even possible? For all these years?
Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find.
I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you? Order! Order! Order!
Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use that metal detector.
Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy.
The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now.
Enough! I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing.
Nick, what does this mean?
I don't know, but you have to give it a shot. He reacted! Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma?
You! It was you!
And in the next episode, we'll finish this. See you guys then.
Bye!